Views expressed here are not supported by and do not reflect those of the Evening Rush Network. Viewers' discretion is advised.
Man, I can't come down, it's only up from here. I can shake this hell off, yeah, I know it's real. When I'm seeing some people tell me what's the deal. Man, I'm feeling like David when I do my dance. I'm fading like the spirit. My vision kinda blurry. I'm feeling kinda woozy. I'm fading in the spirit. My vision kinda blurry. I'm feeling kinda woozy. Yeah. Come on, Jesus Christ, tell me what's the deal. I'm feeling kinda dizzy, and ain't pop the pill. I'm high on cloud nine and I'm feeling fine.
What's going on? What's going on, everybody?
What's going on?
Everybody.
Hey,
I don't see any ice. I don't see any icicles dripping off your nose. So
not
you
yet,
warm
not
up there,
yet.
bro?
It's still
Not yet,
freezing.
not yet.
I'm waiting for this bottle to freeze.
Well, welcome everyone to another episode of Think and Grow with Vette Green. And I have my brother Big Mike over here on the stage helping a sister out. Hopefully
Big
we won't
Mike.
have any.
What's going on? What's going on, y'all?
I'm telling you, if anything could go wrong, it's been trying to, as we're backstage trying to get this show rolling. But you know what? This is what we do. Like I say at my 9 to 5, you pivot and turn and you pivot and turn to make it work. So we're gonna make it work today, right, bro?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
All right. So today should be fun. I had a beautiful weekend. Got to go to the Friendship House Days, the community center that I was telling you about. And today we also have Mr. Bob Baldwin stopping through.
All right.
So
All right.
how was your weekend, bro? How was your weekend?
Oh, it was cool. I was living mine through yours because, hey, everything you sent, hey, we was vibing with that. That was nice. That was nice.
I love
That
our
was nice. It was like we was just there. We was there. We was there with you. We was there in spirit.
That Friendship House Days, it was so nice. So earlier that day, I had went to my nephew's graduation. He graduated. Congratulations, Lil Ray. I'm so proud of you. He's going to school to be an
Congratulations, my guy. That's right.
12 years. 12 years.
Wow. All right.
12 years of schooling. Yeah. And then I went to the Friendship House Days. The Friendship House was a community center in Lackawanna, New York, where I am from. That's my hometown. Like I always say, Lackawanna is home. Buffalo is my city. So it was a community center that we would go to as kids, and it's no longer there. And you and I were talking about it earlier. I asked you, were there any community centers, and are they still there? So how was it growing up for you, and what impact did the community centers have in your neighborhood?
Well, we had YMCAs, we had the Powell, that was the Police Athletic League. We had Yogi Bear, we had some type of cadets. I mean, me and my brother, we was in like a Christian Marine cadet. You had Boy Scouts, you had, I mean, quite a few things that kept you out of trouble back then. Not so much today.
Yeah.
Not so much today. Yeah, you know. And a lot of those organizations, they're closed, you know, the Police Athletic League. You don't really see any more of those. I mean, I think the last one I seen was like Pennsylvania Avenue a few years back. Not so much today.
Yeah, I think the community centers, the youth centers are valuable resources, especially in inner city neighborhoods where
Right,
a lot
right.
of times the parents don't have the funding to provide certain things to kids.
Hmm.
So at the Friendship House, we had arts and crafts. We had my mom actually used to be the arts and crafts teacher, so you can go up there and you can make figurines and you know
Okay, yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff. I remember I made a lamp for my bedroom, vases, all types of stuff. We
Okay,
had
yeah. All right.
drama club.
Yeah, we had the little clubhouses with the ice cream sticks and the glue.
Oh yeah, yeah. We
Yeah, you
made the
had all
bird
that.
houses.
Yeah, there you go, the birdhouses.
The bird
You know,
houses. I
but back then
remember.
we was making ashtrays. You know, we was doing our little ashtrays and everything. I mean, the house burned up, but we still made it. Hey. We still making them. You
I
know.
remember I was so happy. Mother's Day was coming around, and they had these the figurines, the birds, the two doves, and I made one for my
Yeah,
mom.
yeah,
She was a
yeah.
teacher, but I was like, don't look at it. You know, I wanted to paint it and I hid it away from her so she couldn't see it because she worked second shift. She worked at
Oh,
night.
okay.
She wouldn't get off until like after 9. So I hid it where she couldn't see it as I was painting it. And it was
Mhm.
dry and gave it to her for Mother's Day. So there's some footage down. I don't know if it's ready, but there's so much that the Friendship House gave, and not only that, bro. There were two people that I just want to give a huge shout out to because they were they you know, rest in peace to both of them. They passed away years ago, but they were parents for so many people at this community center. When I tell you, they would give you love and be stern with you, put you in your place when you needed to. A
Oh
lot
yeah.
of kids did
Hmm.
not have parents at home, so they were parents for so many people. So um big shout out to Mrs. Fears and Pearlie. You know, you guys are gone, but your memory is always, always so close to the children that grew up in Lackawanna. You guys were parents for so many of us. We can go to you and get advice and get cursed out if you saw us
Oh
doing
yeah.
something
Yeah.
without us. Man, don't get caught in that office. And Mrs. Fears was this little old lady. She was probably maybe 5 feet, wore heels all the time, and dressed real nice. She was just one of those sophisticated women growing up, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
What
Yeah.
kind of memories do you have of the community centers in your neighborhood? Things that you
I
guys
mean,
did.
we had I mean, basketball was in back then, but they really didn't push it. It was more or less like, you know, had us going like camping trips. We used to go upstate, you know, learn how to swim, fish, you know, little canoe boats and whatnot. You know, we was learning like little things we wouldn't expect to be learning, you know, to be in a community like that, you know, inner city, you know, living in Brooklyn, whatever, you know.
How
That was
far
like something
upstate did
different.
you
That was
come?
something different with us. Yeah, you know,
How
something
far
different.
upstate did you come, bro? Did you come towards
We,
Buffalo?
I think we went to Fishkill, New York.
Fishkill. Oh, okay, that's
Yeah,
closer to Syracuse. Okay,
right.
that's
Yeah,
about two,
yeah,
3 hours away from Buffalo. Okay,
right. Yeah, I think it's
okay, we
more
got
close. Yeah,
fish.
went Johnstown.
Jamestown.
Yeah, I mean everybody's flocking to Binghamton now, but we was going up there for like summer camps and things like that.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah,
Binghamton is nice. It's about 4 hours away from
yeah,
Buffalo. Yeah,
yeah.
Binghamton. Those are all small towns, but anything close to the lake is nice. I love the
Right.
fishing
Yeah, yeah,
upstate.
exactly. They was right by the lake. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. So what else was going on this weekend in the city of New York? What was going on down in Brooklyn? You were talking about Brother Mike, not
Yeah,
Big Mike, Brother Mike.
they had some festivals out in Queens. The LQJ Rock the Bells Festival that was out in Jamaica, Queens. Yeah, right where Brother Mike lives out there. You know, they had one on Jamaica Avenue. It's Jamaica Avenue Festival. They have every year. I think you got footage of that. You know, yeah, yeah, pretty much. A lot of festivals going on, you know, like a lot of stuff going on. Same thing you do in the summer.
Yeah,
Had a few
yeah.
things out in
So
Coney
let's
Island.
roll. let's roll some of that footage, especially the part with Sharice. And thank you, Sharice and Shanette, so much. You guys, no issues at all. You guys were ready to do the interview, no questions asked. I appreciate that. They definitely Don, go ahead and roll the video if you have it. Oh my God. Ah, that's gonna be me. That's gonna be me.
Oh man, all right, you doing up there, yeah.
So that was actually, those two women they've been best friends since I was a little girl, and to see them at this festival together, that was Miss Chauncey and Miss Carmen. Believe it or not, Carmen is actually Spanish. She speaks Spanish, and to see them two together, I just loved it. I was like, yeah, that's gonna be me. There's another one with Sharice and Shanette, where they're talking about so growing up. These two ladies were the best friends when I was growing up. I always remember them together, and down at the festival today, look who I see. I love it. I love it.
Wow. Yeah, you could tell they was joined at the hip.
They were so joined at the hip. I love seeing them together. I loved seeing them together because it brought back so many childhood memories. We lived next door to Chauncey as a child. I lived in the projects, and we lived in an apartment building. And at the time, when you're young, you can't really go. So the apartment building was our life. And Chauncey lived next door, like directly next door to us, and we used to always be at her house. And I remember Miss Carmen being over there all the time, and at the time I didn't realize she was Spanish, but yeah, so I really love seeing everybody come out. Thanks again to Miana Bobbitt for even putting something like that together. It was I saw the flyer on a Sunday, and the festivities were happening that Saturday. I'm like, so I don't know how long it took her to put everything together, but I know her mom would be so proud because she really put on something for the community, and her mom was huge, huge advocate. Growing up, well, full disclosure, she's actually my cousin. And growing up, if there was any type of legal advice that people needed, or just maneuvering the legal system, her mom, Barbara Peoples, was the go-to person in Lackawanna. She went to school, she took her legal studies, and she was the go-to person. So her daughter to put something like that together, I was just taking it in. You know how you stand back and just take everything in? Yeah, that's what I was doing. And I was like, yeah, her, Barbara will be very, very proud of Miana. So Miana, thank you again. And I'm looking forward to the second annual Friendship House Days festivities next year.
Yeah, it looked like y'all was doing your thing out there. That looked real fun. I'm like, okay. Yeah, that was right.
I was shaking a tail feather. I paid for it the next day,
I just went and got something to eat, turned it on. I'm like, all right, y'all do your thing. I'm like, right here. Yeah.
I had a really good time. Really good time. The graduation party that I went to was actually up in Springville at a friend of mine's cabin. So, bro, if you have that other video, you can go ahead and roll it. I just want to. I was in sewing class. A lot of us grew up in the Friendship House.
Exactly. Yes, we did.
Yes, we did. And we had parents in the Friendship House.
Yes.
Yep. Pearlie and Mrs. Spears.
And my godfather, Steve, Riley Harris.
And Sweet.
Yep.
Mr. Neva.
Miss Echo.
Yep. Penny was the art and craft teacher. Taught us how to work with leather.
Willie Alexander was with the drama club.
Oh, we love the Friendship House.
And Ruben.
I went for tutoring.
Yeah.
I went to nursing school at the Friendship House. My grandma Gert was the cook. You remember?
We were kids.
Yeah, I love the
Good memories.
I can't believe they don't have nothing like that for the kids. Good old days.
What? Y'all had the flashlight going? Oh, man, I was bothered with that. What? Oh, man.
Listen,
Yo,
when you
I was
come,
vibing with that. Oh man,
Buffalo,
come on, turn it back
I'm
on,
gonna
turn it
make
back on.
sure. I'm gonna make sure you have a good time, bro. When you come to Buffalo, Jay, you
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
you would in Mike, the other Mike,
oh
make
yeah.
your way. Make your we got
Definitely
things
that.
to do.
Definitely that.
We got
Road trip. Road trip.
road
There
trip,
you
road
go.
trip. Hey, Rails, I see you out there. Thank you so much for checking in on us. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. If you guys want to share, if you are watching right now, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. The
For
support
sure.
is always valued. And make sure
Yes,
you stay
sir.
tuned. Next hour, Brooklyn's coming up. Brooklyn of the Brown Table. What you guys talking about today, bro?
Well, we got a same topic we was gonna do a week ago. You know, we just had like some everybody had like little family issues and everything, but we're gonna roll with that. We're gonna roll with that. We definitely got that South Side, East Side music, and then we got a little talk with Ro. You know, see what he got to say. We're gonna bounce off of that. You know, the things that's going on today. You know.
Yeah, the network definitely we pivoted and turned, didn't we, bro? Don, you back there?
Oh
We
yeah,
pivoted and
definitely
turned.
that. I mean, it was on us. I mean, they was all three of us. They was on us, buddy. It was on us. It wasn't you,
Hey,
it was
my
me. It
people.
wasn't me, it was just you. Hey, they was getting at everybody. I'm like, yo, what's going on?
Everybody, thank you, Alamo Ain't Nothing Funny podcast, for checking in on us.
Definitely that.
Make sure you guys check out.
Definitely
Yeah,
that.
you see them out there.
Definitely that. Ain't Nothing Funny podcast coming at y'all better than Steve. We need backup.
And make sure you guys check out Rails Relaxation Hour as well. This is all family. We love it. We love the support.
Yeah, definitely that. Definitely that.
We love the support. I'm looking forward to this interview with Mr. Bob Baldwin. I've been vibing off of his music. That the one song I love. I think I posted about it, but I may have used it in a reel. I've been listening to it for it. It just makes me want to get out of my seat and dance. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah, I mean, I had that little flashback. Yeah.
Like, it's one of them songs. It's like a mixture of, I don't know. Like, I feel like I should be sitting on a beach listening to it, or somewhere other than my house listening to it.
Like the Bahamas somewhere. Yeah, somewhere in the Bahamas.
Man, bro, just
well, they beach.
Mm-hmm.
Like you need a cabana somewhere. Yeah.
Oh yeah, getting my melanin.
There you go. Have you a hammock between two trees swinging? Yeah, checking that out. Yeah.
A Bahama Mama in one hand. I don't even drink Bahama Mamas.
Yeah, Bahama Mamas. The Bahama Mamas.
Yeah. So the another one of the people in the Ahmaud Arbery case got double life sentence. There is be careful is all I can say, everybody. Pull out your phone, because that may be the difference between, you know, what they believe and if they believe you and if they believe someone else. It's always good to have backup. Nowadays, if I see a police behind me, and it's sad to say that I feel like I need to turn my video recorder on like automatically, and I'm a woman. You know, that it's just crazy that, you know, as a person of color, that we have to feel like that. But it's
it is. Yeah, real crazy.
Yeah. Have you ever had any issues like that with the police, or know anybody that had any?
Oh yeah, definitely that. I mean, you know, you always run into people that had a lot of confrontation with. I mean, for the most part, people got to understand these people are people too. They just put on a uniform and say and swear what they're gonna do and uphold. They're not. They have issues. They have prejudices. They have everything going on in life. The same thing you have. It's just, you know, when they stop somebody, you're just that person in the way that at that time.
They take it's been said, and the numbers also show it, that a lot of policemen, they deal with aggressive tendencies. You know, a lot of them, they have domestic violence issues. They, you know, they themselves, it's, I don't want to say they have a violent character, but they are prone to violent tendencies. I'll say that.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, they are people just like everybody else. They got issues going on in their families. They're going through a lot of things. A lot of them need, you know, sensitivity classes. You know, you got to screen a lot of them to see if they're still prejudiced or are prejudiced or holding, you know, any type of thing against any other race. But for the most part, yeah, that's what they do. And you got a lot of black is the same way. You got a lot of black officers are the same way against their own kind. So you really can't pick and choose who it is. You know, you can say brother all you want. That's not your brother, and they'll let you know I ain't your MFing brother. You know. So
I recall back in this was probably the late 80s, early 90s. There was a pair of police officers in Buffalo. They used to call them Ebony and Ivory, and they. Yeah, I don't know what happened to them or anything like that. I just recall a situation where some people I had known that I know had gotten stopped by them, and they beat them up. And man, it's horrible. Just thinking back to that stuff now, thinking back to growing up in the Dorothy Glover Gardens projects, where the police would come. There was we call it a cut. There was just this long walkway where a lot of the dealers would be. They would congregate together, and many times the police would ride up on them, jump out the car, and just start beating on them just because they were standing there. And you know, not thinking that anything was wrong with that. Like in my mind, it's like I feel so bamboozled. You know, a lot wrong with that.
Yeah.
So.
You get that. I mean, you get that everywhere you go.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Do you feel like it's getting better?
Huh?
Do you feel like it's getting better, or is it
no? I feel like
noticeable.
I feel like it's really being noticeable now. You know, it's not. I don't see it getting any better because you know, for the most part, a lot of times people don't change and they take the job. And whatever, you know, issues they got at home or, you know, within the job, they bring it to the job. And like I said, you're that person at that time. You're just in the way.
So Ahmaud's killers are being sentenced for federal hate crimes, which as they should. You know, I feel like that they should have done this a while ago. They should have started putting down these sentences years ago, and maybe you know we would have less hashtags. You know, maybe we would have you know less instances like that when you give people the right of passage to just kill someone based on their skin color. You know. Because that's what they were doing. They were giving them the right of way to just go out there and commit murder.
Yeah, really much.
Yeah. So, all right, bro, we can get ready for. He said, "Oh, you got footage? Oh, Alamo ain't." He said, "I got footage of the police officers harassing my family. Checking my grandbabies. Wow. See, that's crazy."
Yeah. A lot of things.
When I think back to it, it's like, wow, you know, on one hand, it's like I got my phone ready to take a video. Like even driving back to Chicago, I have my 19-year-old son in the car with me, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm just thinking about anything that could happen. And what if we get stopped? It's like, you know, as a mom, I feel like I need to protect my baby, and then it's just so many thoughts going on in my head. It's scary.
Exactly.
It's scary.
A lot of things. Yeah.
So what's your plans for this week? Anything interesting?
I mean, I might try to go do some things, you know, other than the things I've been doing, try to get some more footage and everything, check out a couple of things that's going on for the summer ends, yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. I like to see that footage. Who is that? Fruit with the footage of the police officers. I like to see that footage that you got.
He has a lot of footage. Yeah, he has a lot of footage.
Yeah, you should send that to me. That's something we can be highlighting, because you know what my biggest thing is, we don't speak up enough. I feel like if we spoke up or spoke out more, then a lot of this stuff, I'm not talking about the police, I'm just saying in general, when things go bad. Like my son had an instance yesterday, as a matter of fact, Southwest. I said I wasn't going to speak on it, but the mama in me is going to speak on it. Okay. My son, he was trying to get back to Florida for his job, and the flights, as you know, the flights have been crazy delayed, and he's trying to tell the worker at Southwest in Buffalo, at the Buffalo airport, that he was supposed to be on the plane that was about to take off. And she's like, no, you're not. That's not your plane. And he's trying to show her all his documentation, showing her that, yeah, this is where I'm supposed to be. Lo and behold, once the plane is up in the air, they find out, oh, he is supposed to be on this plane.
On the plane. Exactly. There you go.
And I'm wondering to myself, if my son was not African American, 6 feet tall, and a big guy like his dad, I wonder if it would have been different. I wonder if that worker at Southwest at Buffalo Airport would have handled this a little bit different.
Definitely.
So those are my thoughts. The mom in me definitely wanted to call Southwest and go off. The journalist in me also wanted to get a story, but then he's like, Mom, don't worry about it. I'm going to handle it. So let him handle it. But Southwest, I got my eye on me. I got my eye on you, okay? Playing with my baby.
Yeah, right. That part. There you go.
So we could take a break. And then is Bob back there? Are we ready for him? So we can shoot to break, bro. It's about that time. Bring it on out. If you're back there.
Looking to podcast shows and do not know where to start? The Evening Rush Network can help you with that. Call us at 929-441-2417 or email us at theeveningrushnetwork@gmail.com for dates and prices. We got you for all your podcast needs. The Evening Rush Network. Tune in, subscribe, and share.
All right.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Think and Grow with Vette Green. We have Mr. Bob Baldwin on here. Thank you so much for joining us.
How you guys doing?
Doing okay. I've definitely been vibing to the music. I love it. Oh my goodness.
Thank you.
I really love it. It's very relaxing. It's very easy to listen to. It sums up smooth jazz. It really does. I love the collaborations. Want to talk to you some about that, and also about the new music that you have coming out, or some of it is out right now. So we can talk about that. And I have my brother Big Mike here, who
Big Mike,
grew up listening to jazz. Like your music, love it.
Yes, sir, bro. Good to see you again, man.
Yes, sir. All right, definitely that. Feeling that.
So we can get right into it. One of the first questions I want to talk to you about, because as creatives ourselves, everyone on this platform, we're all creatives. We always want to make sure that our brand is being represented and that we are taking care of us first. And I did my research. I listened to a few interviews that you did, and each time you said something that struck me, and me and Big Mike were talking about this. Being independent means better equity opportunities in the long term. Talk to us about that and why being independent is so important to you.
Well, I'll give you 3 really good examples of people that were independent or tried to be independent. James Brown, Prince, Michael Jackson. they all fought to maintain and own their own recordings so that they can control how their music is going to be portrayed, displayed, and played throughout the universe. And so, we can also throw Ray Charles in there. If you remember the movie Ray, when he sat down at the executive table and said, "Yeah, I want my masters, and I want you to give me a budget." It's like, wow, this is a bad cat right here. So, he was probably one of the first ones that were outspoken about owning his own recordings. So, in doing that, you just you don't have to sell a zillion copies to make the money that you deserve to make. If you're with a major label, you're going to get maybe 10% of the proceeds. If you own your own recordings, you might own between at least 7 to 80 or 7 to 8 times the same amount. So you don't have to work as hard to maintain the revenue. And then in the times of something like COVID, your career is a little bulletproof because I've never been really a touring artist per se in terms of how I make my revenue. And thank God, because in 2020 and 2021, they turned all the venues off and nobody was making any money. It was very unfortunate. I got a lot of phone calls from my fellow musicians who were really at wit's end about trying to get work, and it just wasn't there. And I even saw a lot of studio musicians, or I should say a lot of sidemen who played with those artists building up their own studio. So I think a lot of people really got it, in that you have to have more than one cash flow in this business, because as you see, they could just turn the spigot off like that.
Would you say that COVID changed the way a lot of artists now view how they're doing business and maneuvering throughout their career?
I think a lot of artists and musicians are a lot more conscious as to how the business works, and more importantly, that you shouldn't put all your eggs in one basket. It's something that my dad told me when I was, a little kid. It's like, don't put all your eggs in one basket. I didn't really understand it at that time, but in hindsight, I completely understood what he was saying. So for me, it's about as they say, different streams of income, because at the end of the day, it's no different than you having a day job and wanting to raise and take care of your family or siblings or things of that nature. So you've got to look at music as a business job, not just something you want to do for fun. But it is fun. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy getting on stage and playing and selling music and making the music. But at the end of the day, it's got to take care of your the roof over your head and your lights and electricity and things of that nature. So COVID really, I think, woke up a lot of people in terms of how they were managing their own business. So I think it was definitely an eye opener for everybody.
Yes. So speaking of your dad, so you got into music when you were very, very young. Your creativity burst out on the scene very, very young. You knew what you had inside of you, and your dad got you into music. Talk to us about that.
My dad was I was 5 years old. My dad taught me how to play piano. Five or six. I got hip. Well, I mean, I grew up listening to music. I must have been, I don't even remember the first time I remember listening to music. It's just been around me like most of us. But I remember when I was in kindergarten, my dad used to play a lot of jazz in the living room. So I would be listening to a lot of Miles Davis and John Coltrane and Dizzy Gillespie.
Yep. There you go. There you go.
And Oscar Peterson was the one that really kind of messed me up at a young age. I used to say, "Dad, does he have three hands? Because the man is all over the piano."
Yeah.
He scared the heck out of me. I was like, I don't know if I can play this piano thing. This if you want me to play like that, no, because there's just too much music coming out of that brother. So yeah, I learned at a young age, and then at the same time, my sister, who was about 7 years older than me, had all the pop records and all the R&B records, and of course back then it was it was Motown, it was Stevie Wonder, it was Aretha Franklin, it was Diana Ross, it was Smokey Robinson, it was Marvin Gaye, and then later on it was Earth, Wind and Fire in Chicago, and in New York, there was a station called WABC which played just about everything.
Yeah.
And then later on in the mid 70s, you know, Frankie Crocker comes on the scene and turns
Yeah,
New
Ken
York City completely out.
Spiderweb, all of them, yeah.
Oh yeah, you know, he was playing.
Vaughn Mason lived in my building.
You mean Vaughn Harper or Vaughn Mason? Vaughn Mason. Oh yeah, Bounce.
Yep.
Yeah. I remember all that stuff, man. I remember all that going on Leviticus and all those clubs, man. You know.
Yeah.
So, I interned at WBLS in 1980, and that's how I got a chance to meet Pat Prescott, who went on to work at CD 101, and also works at the Wave in LA now. But I've known Pat for 40 years. She trained me in radio doing news of all things. Then I worked at 1010 Wins. So the music and the radio thing just kind of all worked together pretty much the last 40 some odd years. But yeah, it all started with my dad at age 5, 6 to be scatting in kindergarten. They thought I was crazy.
Do you feel that just listening to your bodies of work, do you feel that a lot of your influence came from the music that was around at the time? Because it's not just instrumental. You have actually songs like I was telling them earlier. One of my favorite ones right now. I was listening to it all day at work. Is "Funk in the Pocket." It just makes me want to just get and do it. It's so catchy. It's so catchy. So talk to us. I know you have some new music out, and this one came out just last year. But just talk to me, because I'm like, where was your creativity during this time? Because we were still in COVID in 2021.
I was at home, girl. I was at home working that music, man.
Your creativity must have been like on.
Yes. Yeah, the creativity would definitely stepped up notch. It was, because I think things were a little more, even though it was chaotic on the outside, when you were home, things were very peaceful, and I was able to create, with a lot more flow. I didn't have a whole lot of chaos going on. So, 2020 and 2021. And the other thing that I was dealing with is I had a mom who's still alive, but in 2019 she had a brain operation, and was paralyzed partially on the right side, and so I had to step in and do power of attorney and be caretaker. But my sister was the primary caretaker, and then she fell ill in 2020 during COVID. She didn't catch COVID, but she had some other things going on. And so I found myself, right in the throes of being, caretaker for two adults, and that kept me home. And so in between, taking care of them, I was creating music. It was, it was late night. It was like started 10 o'clock when the phone stopped ringing and everybody's kind of chilled out. Between like 10 and 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning, I was doing triple duty there. But I was enjoying the time at home, and I was able to create a lot of music. Thankfully, it was a blessing, actually.
For me as a creative, I feel that dependent on my emotions or what I'm going through at a time, I can be very, very creative or not so much. Do you feel that as a creative that based on what you were going through, that's what brought a lot of that music out?
Yeah, and then there was times, like you say, you could be clogged, if you will, stopped up. You don't really feel. Sometimes you're just too tired to create. But then then you get those bursts of energy, and those creative juices start to flow, and that's when the inspiration comes. You're inspired by your family. You're inspired by things that happen to you in your life. You're inspired by the fact that you're okay. You're inspired by a lot of things.
Yeah, definitely
inspired about love. So there's a whole lot of emotions that came through that music. So on that record, Urban Smooth, I was in the process of doing a record that had more of an urban vibe anyway, and I was working with a lot of different singers, and those singers have not gotten the recognition they deserve. So it was an opportunity to put them on the platform and do some collaborating.
Okay. Big Mike, do you have any questions? I know you grew up
Yeah.
listening to jazz.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm still in the jazz part, but did any big bands, influence you in your music?
Well,
did you listen to any Duke Ellington, any Basie?
actually, I did listen to both Basie and Ellington, and then later on, the one that really connected with me because he had a contemporary sound was Quincy Jones. Of course, Quincy came up with the things he did with Frank Sinatra were amazing. But then he transferred that whole orchestral thing into Michael Jackson.
Right.
It's all the same music. There's only 12 notes that we all deal with that we've dealt with the last 6 million years.
Yeah,
so
right.
He took the application of horns and strings and then transferred it to keyboards and guitars and contemporary instruments, and then turned Michael into an orchestra and how he produced his vocals. Right. So Quincy was definitely for me an influence because he crossed all genres and he made it look so easy.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I was just touching on what you were saying earlier, with everybody owning their music. I think maybe the first idea might have came from Sam Cooke, before his passing, something he was trying to do.
Yes. You never know. I don't know. There were some rumors that they didn't like that, and so
exactly. Yeah,
I'll just leave it at that. Just leave it at that. And you see, I mean, even just how Prince and Michael passed away. It's just very, very sad. Very sad how they use the the painkillers as a weapon against their own life. You know what I mean? Just kind of short circuited, everything that they did. But man, with two incredibly talented, artists, Prince and Michael Jackson, and they were hell bent on owning their stuff. Thing about Michael, when he passed, he was, I think there were like 750 million in the hole during his passing, and now the estate's worth over like $2 billion and just growing every day. So he knew what he had. It's a shame that he wasn't able to enjoy the fruits of his labor because that thing was ready to turn a corner.
Right.
I saw that you had played a few of Michael's songs. Last night I was listening to him and my daughter came upstairs and she just stood there listening. She's like, "Is that Michael Jackson?" I'm like, "Yeah, this is Mr. Bob Baldwin. He'll be on the show tomorrow." You play beautifully. You play beautifully. Do you feel that you've stretched, that you each year you increase more of what you can provide to the world, because you really are doing a service to us? You are taking what was placed inside of you and sharing it with the world. Do you feel that it gets you've been doing it for some years, and do you feel like it gets better and better, or you set your level here and then it gets higher and higher?
I try to find different things to do musically so that all the records don't sound alike. The record that I just made is my 34th, so I'm thinking, how do I get to 40 or 50 records without being stagnant or predictable? So that's the challenge right now. And who do I work with that I haven't worked with before? Or what's maybe I could change the sound of my recording, some equipment, some different instruments, things of that nature. So for me, it's about keeping things fresh and pushing that envelope in all those areas at the same time.
It's definitely fresh. I've listened to about 4 or 5 of them on Apple Music, and some of them I was surprised were from 7 years ago, and it still sounds very fresh, very to today as far as the sound coming out. It's definitely fresh.
It's different. I tell you that, it's different. It's not,
thank you, man. I try to stay away from.
Definitely that.
I try to stay away from sounds that are trendy. Back in the 80s, you had the 808 snare drum. You automatically know that when you hear a certain sound, that puts you right into a certain decade. and
Mhm.
they do that a lot in R&B and pop, of course. Jazz has a little bit more of a shelf life, so I try to stay away from trendy sounds because I don't want to be listening to it 10 years from now and say, oh man, why did I pick that cowbell? Why did I play that thing so damn loud?
Yeah, right.
Like that.
Yeah,
So try to keep some
definitely that.
timelessness on it.
It's nice though. Boy. I'm feeling
How do you
that.
feel about
That is yo.
Thank you, brother.
That's
how
one
do
of
you
them.
feel
That's one
about
of them late
today's
night jump overs
music?
right there. Mm.
Yes, absolutely.
How do you, before we get into your new album, how do you feel about today's music? There's it's changed. The way it's provided to us, the way we're getting it has changed. So much of it has changed. What do you think about today's music?
Well, I think in terms of the actual genres, pop is now like the watered down R&B. Gospel, in my opinion, is like the new R&B as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought that was just
they
me, so I'm good. All right, there you go.
when they wiped out the black music departments at the major labels 20 years ago, I thought that was pretty much the end of R&B, and it kind of is in terms of, back then it had a different kind of vibe lyrically. There's more of a message. I don't know. It seems like they've just chopped it down so much now that we're just not getting much substance for the most part. And half the time I can't understand what they be saying.
Yeah, right. There you go. Yeah, there you go.
Can I get some English on this record, please? Can you take me to the bridge just one time, please?
Can I get some closed captions?
Right.
Can I get a bridge? Can a brother get a bridge, please?
Yeah, I've been rocking out to 80s R&B. That's my go-to. 80s, early 90s R&B, and I agree with you that I there's so much Christian gospel out there right now that's so R&B. I have a playlist of just Christian gospel because it's like the new R&B. I would agree with you on that as well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think when they cut out the music department, the black music departments, pop R&B went under pop, and then everybody started amalgamating to that sound. But I think in the process, it's kind of lost its luster.
Right. Would both of you say that it kind of crossed over into hip hop as well? Like that's a new genre.
I would definitely say that.
Sometimes,
I would definitely say that.
Yeah, I think lyrically, it's definitely gone to a different space. I think Mike can attest to that as well.
Yeah.
So talk to us about the new music.
Well, over the last year, I've been working on this record called Be Positive. Yes, a record called Be Positive. I started writing it about a year and a half ago, and finally got it done. Going through a few through challenges and obstacles, but was able to get it completed. And I wanted to come up with titles that were inspiring. I have one tune called Take the High Road, Just Crush It. I have another one called Believe. I have one called Strength. I have another one called Keep Your Spirit. So I think the song titles by themselves are inspiring, and so the music is just an extension to the words. And I have some really great musicians on the record. A young lady named Reagan Whiteside playing flute on a track, who's been an amazing flutist on the smooth jazz scene. Miss Tiny Canada, we did a record called Summertime. Of course, it's an old George Gershwin classic from back in the day that we put a little funk groove on it. And we have Miss Kathy Cousins out of Detroit, Michigan, singing a track called Let's Rewind. A young lady out of the Netherlands playing trumpet. Her name is Saskia Leroux, is playing on a track. A young Vincent Ngala out of Connecticut, who's a young producer and saxophonist, played on a track. And a gentleman on Talkbox out of Australia by the name of Matthew Jarufi. So we're playing on several continents, but we're still playing the same 11 notes.
Right. Wow. Wow.
Sorry about that. Like
That's
I was
impressive
saying
right
earlier.
there. That's impressive right there. I mean, hey, man, I'm just speechless. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's
That's
been a lot of
crazy.
it's been a lot of fun. We got to do a couple of shows. I'm doing actually Washington D.C. tomorrow at City Winery, and
Okay.
Charlotte, North Carolina, the following week at a place called BBC Jazz. If you guys want to know more about the tour dates, just go to bobbaldwin.com. And regarding the record, it's not out until September 1st. But for your listeners, if you go to my website, which is citysketchesrecords.com, you can go check out the record now and do a pre-order. But you'll get a chance to get a sneak preview with what the record sounds like. But again, it won't be out until September 1st.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's my teaser of the day.
All right. That's what's up. Hey. Yeah. Right.
I love that you put that out in February. I was listening to that. I love the title.
Be Positive.
Yeah, I love the title, and yes. I see that you put one on here called "You Got This."
That's right. That's right. Got all positive titles. These are just words of inspiration.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You
motivational too. It's motivational too. Yeah.
Don't let nobody stop your flow. Go for it. Go for what you know. Go for the gold. Keep your head up. Keep your chin up. I always tell my sister, keep your chin up. Keep your chin up. So it's it was a fun journey doing the record. I'm glad I finally got it completed and out there for the people.
Wow. Okay.
I think we lost Yvette. She's frozen.
Frozen Yvette?
Yeah, she got frozen. But I think that's what's going on, bro. You already know. It's going.
Hey,
what up, Bob?
Hey, buddy. Hey, what's up, buddy?
Let's go into one of the tracks from the album, if that's okay.
Sure.
I'm thinking about Rewind.
Okay, let's rewind. Let's do it.
Let's rewind. Let's go into Let's Rewind.
All right.
Cool.
Everything's gonna be okay. No need to hurry. We have all day. We'll take the time to discover the need for each other is so real. Let's jump right into the fire. It's so distant. Let's rewind to the beginning. Rewind. Let's start again. Slow down.
We just giving them a sample. We ain't giving them the whole thing. We giving them a sample.
Yeah, right. They definitely got to pre-order that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We're not giving out a whole thing.
Can't give all of that one up now.
Oh, thank you.
So what's
Can't give them all of that one, Can't give it all of that one. I gotta buy it. They gotta buy it. No.
What's the presence behind Let's Rewind?
It's about you're at home. You're trying to figure out what the next step is, what you're gonna do with the family. Figure out your health. Just kind of like restart some things and take it from the top, and just this is a time for everybody to just kind of recapture who they are and slow things down a little bit. Take a deep breath, go out into the park and just go sit at the park bench for an hour and just watch the birds do what they do and just relax and just get your mind back tuned in.
That's like a little reset button right there.
Yes,
bro.
yes.
You can hear that in the production.
Yeah, man, that's a reset right there.
Yeah, Absolutely,
Isn't
man.
it relaxing? I feel
Yeah,
like I
that's
need
why
to
I'm
not
gonna give
be
it to
in
them
the
all, man. Make
house.
them pay for it. They gotta pay for that, man. They gotta pay for that.
Mission
Yeah, I'm
accomplished.
feeling
Then.
that. I'm pre-ordering mine today.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's get into
I'm gonna
another
need a
one.
couple of those.
Thank you, brother.
Definitely that. Wow.
You want to get into another one?
I like that.
You,
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Vet.
you
No,
can
go
play.
ahead.
What Yvette? You heard something that you like?
Yeah, it's that one. The one that you put out in February. It's going to be all right, I think. Or
The one that we did in February was "You Got This." That was
you got this. Yes, you
Okay.
got this.
All right. So let's check out "You Got This," Bob Baldwin. You already know what it is.
You got this.
You got this. You hear that?
Yeah. Y'all not getting it all. Not today. No. I need y'all to support. Go out there and support.
It's a whole vibe.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Go out there and support.
I'm feeling that right there.
Make sure y'all buy the album.
Mhm.
Comes out
yeah.
9
Couple of them.
September 1st.
Okay.
September 1st comes out.
Just go to citysketchesrecords.com, or you can go to bobbaldwin.com as well.
Cool.
Nice.
And before we go, talk because I know we're winding down. I just want to talk about the new urban jazz series that you have. Talk to us about how that came about and where they can listen to the music, because it's a 2-hour show, correct?
Yes, it's a 2-hour stream, but it's also I have a 24/7 network. If you go to New Urban Jazz on your app at your app store, you can pull the app into your phone, and basically this network came about when CD 101.9 went off the air in 2008, and it was
I remember that. Yeah.
It's like overnight. You just went to straight like rock and roll or something. I forget.
Right.
There was no contemporary jazz between Boston and Orlando, Florida. It was like this huge gap, and you had all these listeners that were just like left hanging because the other stations also started to flip formats. So I started New Urban Jazz just as a void, and so I do a 2-hour weekly show that hits 45 stations, and this upcoming show is my 723rd consecutive week doing the 2-hour show.
Wow.
Congrats to you.
And we have some other stations that are also coming on board soon. Hopefully they'll join hands in about a couple of weeks. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we making some things happen.
But it's a fusion of contemporary jazz, a little urban, Brazilian jazz, some music from anywhere I can find some jazz, like in South Africa or Nigeria. I mean, there's some folks out here playing some music that we will never hear if this platform is not out there. So we're looking to just basically use it as a platform for new artists.
Do you see the differences? I've been hearing a lot of the South African sound coming over here into the States. Do you anticipate more of that? Because the information we can get quickly now. It's not like we have to wait days for something to come in the mail. There's someone on Instagram now that I love his music. He's over in Africa, and I'm like, wow, like it sounds really, really good.
They have a different. I mean, they have a really unique and warm sound. This is artist, and everybody seems to be influenced by Jonathan Butler. He's like the guy to be influenced by, because he's the one who escaped South Africa during apartheid. Was able to get his music heard at age 25. He had like a double album set. One album was all instrumental, and the other album was all vocal. It was like, man, this dude is off the chain. 25 years old.
Wow.
So he's like the one that everybody follows. But there's an artist I want you guys to check out. His name is his artist name is Afro Traction. He plays guitar, but he sings, and he's got this R&B sound that is like, it's super warm. These guys record such warm music, and it's honest. You know, because South Africa is not a rich country, but culturally it's rich, and musically it's really super warm, and it comes across on record. That's what you're feeling. You're feeling that warmth.
Yeah,
You're feeling the warmth of the motherland.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
I really do. I have a lot more artists from over in South Africa that I'm following and listening to their music.
I think they have a thing called Afro pop. I think that's kind of like their
Yep, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yep, Afro pop.
It's like a refined neo soul. They actually, in my opinion, I think they do neo soul better than we do it.
Better.
Right.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah, he even got some nice little dancers out too.
Yeah.
Little dudes,
Oh, yeah.
you're getting it, man.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, what?
Yeah. They got it going on out there, and they're young. They're like 25, 40 young people. They're not, you know, they're coming out. They're coming out the gate, and there's so many of them. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm happy about that. Well, we are going to close this down. I hope everyone enjoyed. Did you guys have any other questions for Mr. Bob Baldwin? I really enjoyed this interview.
You know, hey, we're about to put in our pre-orders, so we definitely gonna be listening on that one. You already know that.
Well, thank you, brother. I appreciate that.
Definitely that.
You already know. Once again, make sure y'all copy it. It comes out
September 1st.
September 1st. Yes.
Be positive.
You can listen to clips right now at citysketchesrecords.com, citysketchesrecords.com, or go to bobbaldwin.com.
Okay.
Yeah. Listen, this man right here is great. And royalty all in one.
I appreciate you. I appreciate all three of y'all. Y'all are beautiful.
Appreciate your time.
Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for your creativity and that new stuff that's coming out, man. Thank you, Dad.
Okay, man.
And also, he's on tour right now, so make sure if y'all can get a chance, go see him live. To that great music live.
In Washington D.C. Check him out. Definitely.
DC on Thursday.
Would you like to leave the listeners of Think and Grow with Vette Green any type of nugget, any advice you'd like to give to aspiring musicians such as yourself, or just creatives in general? Because I know I grabbed the gems that you dropped on the stage tonight, and I hope that if you are listening, that you grab some gems as well.
Well, all I can say is, for those who got the talent, don't give up on the talent. Don't give up on yourself. Share your music with the world. Don't always look at the art as a dollar. Use it as a way to motivate and help your family, your friends, your loved ones. The music is a healing tool right now. Let's use that music as a continued healing tool for those who need to receive it.
Definitely that.
Right energy out there.
Motivation.
What about you, Big Mike? Would you like to leave the listeners with something?
Hey, all I can say is I appreciate you, brother. I'm all for anything new and different. I'm on board with it. Hey, straight support of 100% right here. You already know.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, brother.
Appreciate it.
What about you, Don? Would you like to leave the listeners with something?
I just want to say thank you once again to Bob. I want to say thanks to Terrence for helping with this situation.
Absolutely.
And thank you,
Yeah, shout out to brother Terrence. He's always there. I've known Terrence 40 years, man. I knew him when he was this big.
Wow. Okay.
Now he's this big.
Okay. Can't go wrong with that one then. Yeah.
That's
and
my little brother.
big shout out to Terrence. He's gonna be on Rush Wednesdays tomorrow at 7 p.m. So everybody tune in. You already know what it is. Dawn and Rainbow, of course. and yeah, we're gonna do our thing. You already know how that goes.
Yeah.
And it's our season finale, so you already know we're going
wow.
off big.
Nice.
So, also topic of the day. I'm sorry, Vet. Topic of the day tomorrow: best friend versus your spouse. I think it's gonna be kind of spicy. So you know what I mean. Let's know
That
what
is
y'all
a
think out
spicy
there.
That's
Yeah,
a spicy
definitely.
one.
So
you
we
might have
definitely
some
gonna have a
friends
lot
sleeping on the
going on tomorrow.
couch. You might have some friends sleeping on the couch.
Not the couch.
Listen, I already got the phone ready on deck.
The
My
chiropractor
people
is back.
hold me down. Hold me
You're
down.
on
I
your
might be on the
own.
couch.
Better get your popcorn ready, brother.
Right. Well, this
You
is
already
the
Get that
season
munch in the
finale.
bag ready.
Well, this is the season finale of Think and Grow with Vette Green. I want to thank everyone who's been rocking with us throughout this time. I know we had some hiccups, like we were saying last week was kind of crazy.
Yeah,
We all had
definitely
some
that.
issues going on. We had children
That's
in
life.
the
That's
hospital.
life.
Man, when I tell you the enemy was coming after us last
Oh
week.
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But I love how we got together on that call and just texting each other, making sure everybody's okay. I love that we are family. You see, I had the support with my evening rush shirt on today. I got it on
Oh
today.
yeah, definitely that. I'm feeling that. I like that red. There you go.
Oh yeah, it's pink. And shout out to Envy. I appreciate it. And I
Definitely that.
I just want to leave you guys with this. We will be returning back again September 7th, I believe, whatever that first week in September is. Think and Grow with Vette Green will come back. We're coming back stronger. We're going to come back with more topics. We're going to come back with things. This is the People's Podcast. I just want you guys to understand that we are here to support you. We are the voice for the people who don't feel as though they have a voice. And the one nugget that I want to leave you guys, just to piggyback off of what Bob was saying, don't give up on your dream. On July 25th, I celebrated my 4th year being here in Chicago, and I can't believe that my life looks like it does now compared to what it looked like just 4 years ago. I was sleeping on my mama's couch, you guys. I was sleeping on my mom's couch. I was going through some things. I had gotten fired by my sister. I looked up and I was using painkillers to cope. So don't think that just because of what your life looks like now that it can't change. If you are willing to sacrifice and make those changes, if you want something different, you have to be willing to do something different, put action behind those words, and don't give up on yourself. Every day I wake up and tell myself, if I might give up a lot of things, but I'm not going to give up on me, because if I know one thing, I know something for sure. If God wakes you up, that means he still has a plan for you.
There you go.
I love you guys.
Man has a plan. Definitely for that.
I like that.
Yep. We'll see you guys in September. Make sure we're coming strong. We're coming strong.
All right.
I love you guys. Thank you, Bob.
All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate you all.
Appreciate you.
All right. Much love.
What just happened? Oh. I hear it, but I don't see it. Why can't I see the screen? You know what?